On the day unemployment fell faster than in any quarter since 1997, we take you to a street in Birmingham, not Benefit Street, but Working Street, to hear what jobs mean there.
Employed, employed, 2 people employed.
And with unemployment dropping so dramatically, could an interest rate rise be on the way? More than 40 countries gather in Montreux to try to bring peace to Syria, but with both sides hurling accusations and insults across the room, What Chance talks on Friday. We talk live to the regime. Independence Square in Kiev is still alight tonight after 3 protesters are killed. We'll be live with the latest. There aren't just sex pests in politics, they may well be in a workplace near you. Anne Robinson, Joan Bakewell and Stella Creasy share their own stories and their very different remedies. Good evening. The Chancellor today claimed success for Plan A, announcing that the sharp rise in employment was evidence that the coalition's long-term economic plan is working. And the Prime Minister claimed the people in Britain are better off this year. So Ed Miliband parried with the accusation that with inflation rising faster than wages, many people are actually worse off. So what is the truth? You may already know about Benefit Street in Birmingham, but we bring you Working Street in the same city. Here's Andy Verity.
Employed, employed, 2 people employed.
Son's just been born, 3 or 4 days old. So at the moment, times are good, you know, because we've got plenty of work on.
2 people employed in here. Employed. And they didn't answer, they were out. So maybe they're working.
Loiselle Street in Birmingham, less than 2 miles from a street made famous on Channel 4, may not be that far from your average street. Most of the residents are working. Today, unemployment fell far faster than most economists had expected. The Governor of the Bank of England had thought it would take 2 years to get this low. And nowhere in the UK is it falling faster than here in the West Midlands.
This is the biggest fall in unemployment in 15 years. What sort of work is being created and how well does it pay?
It's lunchtime, and Asif Hussein's already back from work as a postal worker, where he gets £8 an hour.
So you work for the Royal Mail through an agency?
Yeah.
And what sort of a contract have you got?
It's like a 0-hour contract basically. It's like
0 hours?
Yeah, it's not fixed. It's not fixed.
So it's through an agency and you only get what you work?
Yeah.
And do your hours vary then? Are they up and down?
Yeah, they could like give me 4 hours one day, then 6 hours another day.
He's had the job for 2 months after being made redundant 6 months ago.
So part-time, what are you paid per hour?
It's about £8 an hour.
Right, so about 100 quid a week or thereabouts?
Yeah, around about that much, yeah.
Could you get other work while you're doing this part-time work?
I could, yeah, but I've been applying other places, but no luck at the moment, so I'm just stuck with this job at the moment.
Underemployment, where people want more work than they can get, is falling. More than 300,000 jobs were created in the 3 months to the end of November. There are now more than 30 million in work. What's driving that here?
The good news is that we've got large businesses who are thriving locally, big manufacturing organisations, Jaguar, Land Rover, JCB, who are growing and have vacancies. Great, it's falling, but it's still over 9%. In parts of Birmingham, it's 20% plus. That's not acceptable. The issue we've got is that we haven't skilled up the people in those parts of the city fast enough to celebrate the jobs that are coming along, to take the jobs that are available.
Loiselle Street's got visible signs of the sort of recovery we're having, including the resurgent housing market. Jahid Ali is benefiting from that, for now.
What do you get paid, do you mind me asking?
I'm doing it as a labour charge.
So what, £10 an hour or?
No, it's £6, £7 an hour.
And is there more business now, do you find? Is business picking up?
No, just nothing else.
Nothing else after this?
Yeah, just a building, nothing else.
So what are you going to do when this is finished?
Going home.
Jahid may be working, but on wages like that, he'd be classed as being in poverty, and he may not be working next week. In fact, there are now more people in the UK in poverty with jobs than without.
We saw again in the wage data today very, very slow growth, and wages still rising below 1%, which is much lower than the rate of inflation. So people continuing to get poorer in terms of their pay packets. Now, one of the uncertainties in the labour market is why have wages been falling so much? This doesn't normally happen even in a recession, didn't happen in the 80s or 90s, and is happening this time around. And the big question really is how much of this is just a cyclical impact of the downturn and will recover as the economy starts to pick up, and how much of this is much more structural and about the kind of jobs that we're creating in our labour market.
The economic theory says that when unemployment drops, it gives workers greater bargaining power so they can push their wages up in real terms. But we're having to wait longer and longer for that to happen. When the government came to power, the prediction was that that would happen last year. Then after the Euro crisis, the prediction was next year. And now the prediction is real wage growth will have to wait until 2017.
In Lozelle Street, the price of a job can be shrinking wages, but you can also pay it by taking on the risks that employers used to bear, by going self-employed. Of the 307,000 jobs created in the 3 months to November, 48% were self-employed, far more than previously. Craig's a plumber who's done well from the government's free boiler scheme.
I'm not worried it won't last, but you never know, do you? I mean, it's a government-funded scheme. If they say no more funding, then it stops, doesn't it?
In Lozelle Street, as in the whole economy, people are accepting the risks of self-employment, hours that fluctuate, and pay that shrinks. The insecurity of work is a price people are showing they're prepared to pay just to have it.